What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about crypto, everyone's favorite topic right now. It's a spicy one. And by everyone's favorite, I mean just the crypto nerds, just people that care about crypto. So if you are not a crypto fan or anything like that, first of all, I appreciate you even clicking that notification, even getting onto this video. If it's not your thing, then I don't know how much this will do for you. I don't know if it'll provide any value. If it is your thing, maybe we can take some pages out of this book, I guess. Whatever YouTube video is about, right? But I do want to say, like, for the people that is not your thing, I appreciate every one of you guys, because some of you guys, like, there's trolls and like there's people that are just dumb. Like, I don't care for those, but I've had plenty of followers come on here and they'll comment their opinion, and like, yeah, the last one was like, in 2 years, crypto or Bitcoin will be replaced by something else. The shininess just isn't there. It's something along those lines. I almost nailed that word for word. And I respect people. I respect people's opinions like that when they show up. I don't want an echo chamber or anything like that. So if you ever hear me say something like negative towards people that hate crypto, like, it's definitely not that group. It's the dumb ones. But we're all kind of waiting on this. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to drop to that sub 12 mark, like this purple zone right here. You can't see because my head's in the way. That's about that. The top of this is 11.8. Can I get which way? It's mirrored. This is very weird. There we go. 11.8 on that number. And we're thinking, like, what is the excuse now? If I zoom out, like, there's like the normal, if you want to call them higher lows, like, careful with the trend line drawing. Remember these trend lines, guys? They're ideas, right? The idea of this trend line is a higher low. Like, there's nothing technical about it. Like, pick one: candle bodies, wicks, whatever you want to do, just make it consistent, draw that. But remember, you can draw like a Picasso on your screen. You're the only person that sees it, so you're likely just going to sell yourself a position if you don't keep in check that all that means is a higher low. Like, yeah, it's cool if it bounces at this zone, right at this yellow line, and we just find some buyers. I'm hoping we do, and I likely think we will. But everything above this point is still a higher low. It could drop down to this yellow green box here. That's a monthly zone. It could drop down to 7,000 and still be making a higher low. The whole story still sticks. You might be upset and all butthurt because it went below your trend line. You think crypto is dead this time. But just remember what those lines represent, because the story means much more than that stupid line you drew, because you can move that up and down and sell yourself a position any day. So be careful with that. A lot of technical people will play lines like that. It's a very easy play. As far as institutions go and retail goes, retail's some pretty low-hanging fruit, and it's along those lines that people draw like that. Like, we know where some retail traders are going to be at right about there. When I talk about crypto, I'm talking about Bitcoin, the Apple of them all, right? So there's Bitcoin, and then there's everything else. Everything else is called an altcoin, alternative coins. There's a little over 40,000 of them. Yeah, 40,000. Imagine there was $40,000 bills, like different ones. You had a 1 through a 40,000 bill. How would you like to pay? Well, I only got 20,000, 21,000, and 50 bills on me. Which one do you want? I think that's silly. That's going away. Rest assured, like, not happening. So when crypto does, I'm under the belief crypto has a place, and we'll get into that. But when it does, it's not going to be as decentralized as people think. I know you guys love to be rebellious and then like, oh, it's going to be this or that. I'm telling you, it's not going to be that case. They're just trying to. I do believe, maybe it's my negative outlook on life, but I do believe banks, they're just trying to get their little meat hooks in this. Then once they have control, then they'll let you play in their little toy box, little sandbox. But, we've been waiting for, like, what's the next excuse? Because we got FTX collapse, right? Now, that was a whole just issue with lending, and that was a financial issue with a badge of crypto. How, like, what was it? The Toyota Matrix and GMC made a car, right? Or the Subaru, the BRZ, and the Toyota, the other one. The one that was supposed to replace the Supra before the Supra came out. If you pop the hood, all Subaru parts. Subaru did the drivetrain, but close the hood, Toyota badge, right? So all that was financial problems with a little badge of crypto on it. And then people are just equating those two together. Like, oh, it's got to be a crypto issue. I told you crypto was wrong. And then we saw like some sell-off in the midst of that panic. And that's all it got. And a lot of people are curious. They're starting to think like, man, Bitcoin's holding up pretty well compared to the fraud we just saw. Absolute fraud. Sam Bankman-Fried, what they're calling Sam Bankman-Fraud now. I 100% get that. And I think he's the fall guy. He was around way too many politicians. First of all, I don't trust any politician. But if there's one that has like a track record that stands out, like the Clintons, yeah. Anyway, he's got too many pictures with them. He's got too many, donated way too much to that party for me to think he wasn't just the fall guy put there a long time ago. Like, he's got that gullible face everyone keeps talking about. He kind of just looks dumbfounded in most of his videos. Like, he seems like a guy that'd be an easy picking. Like, all right, just put him there. He's going to have the time of his life. And when we need a fall guy, there he is. That's definitely tinfoil hat. So it is what it is. That's just kind of where I stand as far as that goes. And Bitcoin, arguably, is holding up pretty well. FTX did not have a lot of it. I think most of us have more coins than FTX did. Bitcoin than FTX. So maybe that's why Bitcoin's holding up pretty well. Now, first of all, that was just one domino to knock the rest down, and we're just guessing which one's going to go bankrupt next. You know, like fingers crossed, like Coinbase makes it out, only because that's the only one I've ever promoted. The other ones, I've specifically said there's something weird about them. The way they're printing money, like I don't staking. The next best thing, I get it, whatever. Not a fan. Not a fan unless I know where the money's coming from. When you find out they're just lending it on top of like a lending, like, hey, this guy gave us one coin. Now we can loan that out 47 million times. We'll just keep reverting it back to that one. Like Peter paid Paul and all his cousins and all his friends. Like, it just didn't add up. And we're starting to see that pan out. So holding on pretty well. Sure. Still in a downtrend. Finally, it was going sideways forever, and we're starting to do this sideways crap again. Like, come on. But we're missing one. In fact, it's the other half of this. There it is over there. Other half of this screen here we're looking at. Now, I've told you guys, I went on a pretty serious rant too. Bitcoin, right? Not correlated with the NASDAQ. Nothing, right? Like, it's just not. Okay? Stop that. Because what I'm about to say should not be confused with that. Although it might be easy. So, case in point, and when I was going on this rant, a fellow crypto nerd friend of mine that I like a lot, her name's Tam, she brought up this chart, right? And it's shark bites and ice cream. Now, they trend up together, and they go down around the same time. It's about summertime. Now, are sharks just going, they're just pre-diabetic sharks going after everybody with the sugar in their blood, eating all that ice cream, then jumping in the ocean? I don't think so, but there's people that believe the earth is flat, so I believe someone thinks that. But not, like, correlation does not equal causation. It is just because they move together, fine. It doesn't mean anything. It's like you driving next to somebody on the highway. Until you take the exit, they don't. Like, you guys were just naturally going down the same path. Big deal. What that path likely is, though, and people say this a lot about Tesla, is a mindset of where the consumers are buying. Where's that extra money going? When they have extra money, how are they acting? We see that in tickers like Tesla. That is like a cult following that whenever it is risk on, just pump money into something, it goes into that. It also goes into things like crypto. And right now, we're seeing the markets, we're in a bear market rally. Do you notice how I said that? Bear market rally? Not the bottom. Not we're headed to all-time highs. We're merely going up in a downtrend. That's all that is. Bitcoin's holding up, I think, because people still have some money to spend. If things get weird, which I think will be around the end of this year and into next year, I think the market sees new lows. Like, we're going to start trending back down. And when the market starts to trend down like that, the hype is gone. People are spending less. What they have, they start to pull out and protect. Like, people love to get all gung-ho about it. I'm going to buy and I'm going to be a super investor. They see that red on their P&L, like, oh my gosh. And they just see the news nonstop about markets this, panic that, recession here, depression's going to be tossed out there a lot. They're going to see that, and it's like beating you in the head slowly, just over and over again. Eventually, you're like, I got to get out. So you see people start to sell. So as far as a consumer mindset, I think Bitcoin's one of those as well. And right now, you got people not buying crypto just for the fact that it's in a, what do you call it, crypto winter? Like, say whatever you want about crypto. It's more red than green, right? It's selling off. We're doing that, and we're kind of just taking it slow while the markets are green. When the markets are red and there's red everywhere, it's just going to amplify this. So we might not need another crypto excuse. It might not need to be Binance or Kraken. Those things might be good. We might just start to sell crypto in general. We might start selling coins. There might be margin calls. I've seen some reports about there's margin calls at 15 or below, which will be just enough for people to lock that in, sell it, send it down. If markets are red, there's no need for them to just be like, oh no, don't worry, let's just pile some more money in something that's going down. That won't be the mindset when things are selling off. And here, just to give the exploded view, still very much a channel down. Again, like I said, be careful with these trends down because you probably think we're about to go short. And I think we are going to get above that. We're probably still going to make a lower high in regards to this, but we'll probably find some sellers right here. Probably, I think we're going to get a nice little rally up to here. Close. If not, maybe we tag that, but that's still here. And then start to sell back off. And that's where I do think I'll be interested to see, because this is on a weekly chart, by the way. So this is the S&P. Now, we might hit that sell off. It might be all the first quarter going into the second quarter, and we might make this, and someone's going to call it a double bottom. There's the floor that holds. Sure, it might make a higher low, or it might make a lower low. I'll be very interested to see, and that's where you'll see me talk about the bottom, because I bet we get one more leg down. And wherever that goes is where I'll call the bottom. I think we got one more leg down before we do turn things around. We'll start to deploy money on the sides. Next year we'll be in an actual recession. The Feds have never pulled off a soft landing, so I'm just going to stick with that track record. You guys love to go off charts and all that. Like, cool. They've never had it. Like, they've said soft landing a lot. It's never actually happened. So miracles happen. Maybe this is the first time, maybe not. That being said, I think we'll be in a recession, and at that point, we'll start pricing and getting out of the recession. They'll turn the money printers back on, and we'll rock and roll. Recession, we'll start pricing in the future, so that's why I think we'll start to get out, and then, everyone will complain, hey, why, everything's so bad, everybody's getting laid off. It's all you guys can talk about now, right? The difference between this and all the other crypto winners is I keep seeing all of this a lot. Let's go back to, so here's the beginning. Let's go from here, from 2015. We got March of 22. Where are we selling off at? We started selling off in January of 22. Here's January 22. All right, so we got a head start. This looks like crypto started off in November of 21. Dirty. Then we started selling back off. You know what's different between this sell-off and all of these sell-offs down here? Is everything in this market, we've always had a money printer and a market going up, right? Bitcoin hasn't really seen anything but a bull market. I'm not talking about crashes like this. There's always been a printer and a Feds to back it. Bitcoin's has never seen that. It's like traders that think they were right in 2021 because all they did was buy and it went up. Now they're just market mechanics. They are just geniuses. So Bitcoin, of all the winners, has not seen this yet. So this is something new for Bitcoin. And I do think that's why we're going to get that last sell-off. And I think it's probably going to be on the backs of when we start selling off here and the markets just are not going to be great. People will want to hold and protect what they have, especially with fears of layoffs. If you're not in a management position that just showed up in 2021, hopefully you're okay. I think I think a lot of companies, rightfully so, are trimming a lot of that fat. But that's kind of where I stand. I'm going to watch the markets over here. Now, I'm watching the dollar because the dollar was one of the best hedges for Bitcoin. That's the only reason I got in Bitcoin, was to hedge the dollar, because I saw somebody else doing it. When I see algos doing it, like, hey, they got more money than I do. You call them smart money, you call it whatever you want. I'm going to follow that trend. So I am watching that for it to turn on. But the dollar's in a very curious spot as well. Let's pull that up. Now, in the midst of this, I've talked about this before. So we'd look at the dollar. I don't think that right now the dollar sold off, right? The dollar is not going to turn on a dime like this. I know my head's in the way. See this up, down? We're not going to make that kind of pivot. I do think we're going to do something like this. Let's get to the last time the dollar was up here at these levels. See, we kind of just made that mountaintop. I'm sure someone's called that a pattern. Like, that's a crown. the king's crown. That's a W that didn't really pan out. It's a W for everyone that's short. Shout out to everybody that plays the W's and the M's. Oh, that's an M right there. Man, you guys are great. So it's a W if it goes up, but if it goes down, M, you called it. Man, you indicator guys. Whew, you guys can't lose. Love the W/M, whichever one pans out. I'll say I called it. Man, I don't even know anybody that calls. I've seen those. I don't know if there's got to be someone selling a course. And shout out to you guys. If what you sell in a course could fit in a pamphlet, Elliott wave, Fibonacci, and you make a course and monetize that, shout out to you guys. Anyway, I think the dollar is gonna just hang out like here, and then the dollar's gonna turn. And if you've been following any one of my channels, so this is Don Fron Trading. If you follow Don Fron Show, I don't know why I just pointed behind me. But if you follow Don Fron Show where I go live, you guys know I'm going to hammer the dollar. I'm going to short this thing to oblivion. My own personal goal is to make $1 million off of that just in Forex, which is nothing to you guys, and it shouldn't, because your money is not my money. I'm not paying your bills. You're not paying mine. It's why I don't like to go off numbers. But that's specifically something I want to just hammer out. We talk about currencies, it's a sideways market, but when we go on trends like this, these are opportunities that you make a ton of money. I doubt we go on just a smooth ride. If we were to go on this smooth ride down like that on the dollar, my goal would be easily hit. So I bet we kind of chop it down. I do think we're probably about to, the dollar might trend down a little bit easier. It's going to be a lot harder for the market to have this bear market rally while the dollar is still while the dollar's trending up. So I bet that's going to come down a little bit further. We're going to start this trend up. Again, we're on the weekly here. We'll see what happens to the S&P and equities as far as that goes. But that's what I think kicks us off to the downside. Again, that's when I'll be looking for the dip. That is also when I'm going hard on the Bitcoin. So I do buy this every week. Again, if you're new to how I do things, I dollar cost average, like all the YouTubers. Just kidding, kind of. So I buy this automatically on Friday. One update, I used to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum every Friday. I actually took the Ethereum and put it now, it's just in Bitcoin. So I buy Bitcoin every Friday, I take that same amount, and I put that money into savings as well. So just for you, if you had $100 every week, you would put 50, if you're going to agree with this, I don't do call outs, but if you agree with my thought process, you take your $100 that you have liquid, you would put 50 in Bitcoin, 50 in a savings account. That's it, automated. Don't look at it, don't touch it. And then when we get to these lower levels that you like, you think is the bottom, you think this is the time, you take that savings account and you dump it in. Brings your average way down. If you just buy every week, your average goes up, and it gets really easy to average that thing up. It gets a whole lot harder to average that thing down. So when these red candles come and they are panicked, they do get to the downside a lot faster. But I like to weight my stuff to the downside, and I found that's the best way to do things. So it's like what everyone else does with dollar cost averaging, just better. That's the cockiest thing I'll say, I promise. Anyway, that is where, when I see that pan out, the dollar pushes up one more time. We got equity selling off for that last leg down. When we get that leg down, lower low, horizontal, higher low, whatever the story is, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. That's where I'm going to worry about the bottom, and that's when I'm going to start piling in that cash on the sides. That's where I'm going to take that risk, however it pans out. We'll see. Hasn't happened yet, at least. So I'll wrap it up here, but I think that's actually going to be, I think that's how the scenario is going to pan out. I've been trying to find, what's the next excuse to get Bitcoin down? Because there's always an excuse, right? There's always news coming out for that very reason. There's got to be an excuse, or the markets wouldn't move. Your little brains would implode. Why is it moving? You haven't seen any news? So we're looking for that. And just looking at these charts, I think that's what it is. I think when things get rough again, the dollar pushes up. We'll have the algos in here with the dollar pushing up again, dropping Bitcoin. We'll have people just wanting to protect what they have. So that being said, I think that's going to be our leg down, and I would watch the markets for that. Not because I care anything about what they do together. I don't. If Nasdaq is green, I'm not thinking, oh, I can't wait to buy Bitcoin. I really don't. And I don't care if that's how you trade. That's fine. Congrats. Not how I do it. I think I covered everything. yeah, one more leg up. One more leg up on the dollar, leg down on the equities. We bring Bitcoin down with it, and that's where it'll be the bottom. If you're in altcoins, consider them wrecked. What Bitcoin does, altcoins will do tremendously. They're like the leveraged ETFs, just designed to go to zero. I'm sure I might talk about a few. I do want to find a couple altcoins because that is where the spicy money's at. A little bit more of a gamble. But I want to find ones, and you can do this. And if you want to watch, there's another YouTube channel called DCTV. You see me stream there on Fridays. I do simulcast it. So you've seen it on my Twitter. You've seen it on Don Fran's show like Friday mornings. And I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to break down a couple of coins fundamentally that I think will be here. But out of 40,000, I'm going to assume 39,990 of them are BS. Yeah, I'm going to worry about probably 10 max. If you're in more than 10 coins, what are you doing? Until something changes my opinion and I have very good reason for it, that's what I'm sticking with. At the time I'm recording this, I did do what everyone else is doing, what all the cool kids are doing, right? The Black Friday special. It's a little bit later than Black Friday. It's Saturday, but we got Cyber Monday. So if you are interested in the trading suite, so I have a trading suite that has like, well, everything. Lifetime and mentorship. It's got the supply and demand. It's got options course. And I am going to add Forex and futures in there. Everything I will ever make is in the trading suite, so that is 30% off. There's no coupon code. It's just on the Teachable link. Click that link down below. You'll see two of them. Trading suite normal price, trading suite cheaper. Same thing. That is, instead of just making you guys type in a coupon code and talking about how it expires, I'm deleting that on Monday. So technically Tuesday because it'd be Cyber Monday special. Yeah, if you're ever interested in that, that's down below. Everything else, all the cool YouTuber stuff, just click the subscribe button if you want to stick around. Definitely comment down below because I want to hear your opinion, right? Whether you like, hate crypto, I don't care. I'll hear you out. I like everyone's opinion. So it kind of gives me, if there's something I don't know, I want to know it. So if you think you got something that I don't know, I definitely want to hear about it. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the comments down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.